Welcome back to the news at 10. Apparently worried by cases of clashes between farmers and herdsmen across the country, Catholic bishops in Kano and Kaduna states are asking the state and federal governments to establish ranches. The Archbishop of Kaduna Diocese, the Most Reverend Matthew Nagoso, who addressed journalists, advised herdsmen to stop the open grazing of their cattle and embrace more organized methods of rearing animals within specific areas.
As pastors, it is part of our duty to call public attention to the dangers of irresponsible exploitation of our common home, the planet. In this vein, we strongly propose, for example, that going forward, we must note that the debate about herdsmen and pastoralists is a debate about the future of our human survival, environment, and our country. We must abandon the old practice of herdsmen, moving in droves across the country, especially given the violence this has unleashed on our people. Today, entire communities have been destroyed and the anger in the land is palpable. We are convinced that the only way forward is for the government to arrest this drift of herdsmen and their animals by exploring the option of creating ranches instead of grazing reserves. We believe that the creation of ranches will make both economic and human sense for our people.
The magistrate court sitting in Ikeja today ordered the remand for 30 days of 4 persons arrested by the police in connection with the kidnap of the Oniba of Iba, Oba Goriola Oseni. The 73-year-old Lagos monarch was freed on August the 6th, about 3 weeks after he was kidnapped. Reports say some of his relatives parted with money as ransom. The officer in charge, who presented the suspects before the court, moved the application for their remand pursuant to Section 264, subsection 1 and 2 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Lagos 2011. Further proceedings have been fixed for November the 10th, by which time the suspects are expected to have been arraigned before justices of the High Court. Let's now take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Anne Waudu.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ijoma. Welcome to Business News. Latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics reveals that Nigeria's trade deficit fell to 196.5 billion naira in the second quarter of this year, from 351.3 billion naira in the first quarter. Total trade between April and June rose by 49% to 3.94 trillion naira in the first quarter, while exports were dominated by crude oil, which contributed 79.7% of total exports. Major imports came mostly from China, the Netherlands, United States and India. The decline was attributed to the depreciation of the naira after the CBN floated the local currency in June to ease dollar shortages and preserve its dwindling foreign reserves. The naira depreciated against 3 currencies at the interbank market today. The local unit depreciated by 0.23% to 314 naira 92 kobo to the dollar, 3.13% to 422 naira 60 kobo to the pound, and by 0.33% to 352 naira 46 kobo to the euro. At the parallel market, the naira firmed by 0.47% to 423 against the dollar, but it fell 0.56% to 540 against the British pound. And then it traded flat at 465 against the euro. Traders are optimistic that the naira may appreciate this week following the reinstatement of 8 banks previously banned by the CBN from the forex market and the licensing of 11 new international money transfer operators to address the dollar supply. Equities extended losses today as investors continue to book profit across all key sectors. Analysts expect the bearish sentiment to continue this week. Let's now join Millicent Walker for more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The local equities market fell further by 73 basis points, while the market capitalization fell by more than 7 billion naira on Tuesday as investors' preference for stocks shifted to the currencies market following dollar inflow into the market. 25 equities led by Portland Paints, Access Bank and Union Bank recorded price losses, while 10 equities led by UACN, May & Baker and Eternal Oil had price gains. The day's turnover was lower in contrast to Monday's session, as a total 176.77 million shares changed hands in 3,682 transactions for 188 billion naira. GT Bank, EcoBank, Transnational Incorporated and Access Bank were the most patronized stocks on the activity chart. And that's it on Stock Market Report. I'm Millicent Walker.
Millicent. Iran says it is ready to support the possible revival of a global deal with Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries on freezing crude oil production levels. OPEC's third largest producer also signaled its willingness to support any measure to stabilize oil prices between $50 to $60 a barrel. OPEC and non-OPEC producers, including Russia, will hold informal talks in Algeria, but that will happen later this month. Meanwhile, Brent crude slipped further to $46.86 per barrel today. Well, U.S. and Asian markets closed today's session positive, but African and European markets ended in mixed sentiments following a disappointing U.S. service sector growth. Let's see some of the numbers. Well, that's Business News Tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Anne Nwaudo. Back to you, Ijoma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari is asking the financial services sector to cooperate with his administration in the fight against corruption, terrorism and money laundering. Speaking at the 10th Annual Banking and Finance Conference in Abuja, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Mahmood Issa Dutse, who represented the President, asked the banks to leverage on ICTs to counter these challenges.
It's no longer news that Nigeria is in recession. What is now news is the aftershock. Thousands of jobs have been lost in the wake of the economic crisis, while inflation is hitting a record height. These are indeed tough times. But for those in the financial services sector, the period calls for key actions and steps that would resuscitate the economy.
Our economy has been overstretched, with the level of foreign exchange reserves hovering around $25 billion, perhaps the lowest in recent decades, and barely able to support 6 months import bills. We have been inundated with hopes and desires for a new dawn through import substitution strategies. The time is now right to walk the talk.
As the sector plays a critical role in stimulating the economy, banks are also affected by government policies like the Treasury Single Account. However, the government wants more to be done in the fight against corruption.
The zero tolerance of this administration to corruption, money laundering and terrorism will receive a significant boost if the financial services industry actively supports the government in these campaigns.
Another challenge facing the financial services sector is fraud in the nation's payment system. The Central Bank of Nigeria is designing strategies to promote safety and confidence in the nation's system.
We are collaborating with law enforcement agencies to set up a dedicated electronic payments and card crime unit in the Nigeria Police. Similarly, consultations are ongoing for the establishment of an industry fraud intelligence bureau and a cyber and a security operations center.
With no doubt, the financial services sector plays a critical role in shaping the nation's economy. But now participants at this event are taking home a new task, which is to promote more financial inclusion to drive the new economy. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
The federal government has given the World Bank and all development partners the assurance that it will ensure effective coordination and monitoring of the Nigerian Partnership for Education project. Addressing the first National Steering Committee of the project in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Mr. Adamu, explains that the federal government is determined to ensure increased enrollment of girls in schools across the country.
They are the direct and the indirect beneficiaries. The direct beneficiaries are the girls who attend public schools at the basic level, including those attending integrated Islamia schools in all the 5 states, along with their teachers, especially the female teachers who will benefit from the provision of training and support, which is available for professional teachers within the program. So far, a total of 12,179 schools are expected to benefit from the school's grant. I don't know that this 12,000 is the total of what we have had today.
That is the statistic we have in
okay. While teachers are expected to benefit from about 96,954 teacher development program initiatives across all the states. This is expected to improve the professional knowledge of teachers, the quality of classroom instruction, and overall teacher assessment skills. And in addition, about 18,400 female teachers are expected to receive scholarships, and hopefully they will become more competent and go on to act as role models for the girl child.
About 1 week after a building collapsed in Gwarimpa Estate in Abuja, concrete manufacturers in the Federal Capital Territory have been criticized by the Standards Organization of Nigeria for compromising on quality. The director and head of the agency's office in the FCT blames the recent cases of building collapse in the city on what he refers to as quacks who have infiltrated the concrete manufacturing industry.
Cement has been certified by Standards Organization of Nigeria to meeting the requirements of the cement in accordance with the requirements of the standard. Then what about the products of the cement? Concrete products are one of such products. And there are standards for each of these products, being it electric pole or concrete pole, being it block, whatever concrete product, there are standards for all of them. Then the question is this: what is actually causing some of these issues that we are hearing about? Human beings being buried alive in rubble. You take some block, you lift it up. In fact, it's just like ordinary loaf of bread. Is that kind of product fitting for the purpose? Is a question.
Next on the news at 10, Nigeria's Aruna Quadri makes massive leap to the 25th position at the latest International Table Tennis Federation World Rankings. That's on sports. Just stay with us.